In this next lesson, we're going to take a look at when a user's within a function, how they can find records for that function. So we'll take a look at this in the context of our sales order management function. What you'll notice is when we're in the sales order entry, and this same principle is going to hold true for the other functions within the system, is that we have a left list over here. Now, in this case, this is a left list of all sales orders that have been entered into the system. So as you can imagine, as time goes on, this left list is going to grow quite large. And there's different ways that we can approach finding records in the left list. Now, one easy way is to use these two navigation buttons up at the top. And this amounts to being able to page you over to the next set of records. Okay. Now, two major tools that we're going to take a look at. One of the tools is called a quick select, and the second one is what we call an advanced selection. So let me kind of illustrate the quick select function first. So let's say, for sake of discussion, that we're looking to find a sales order, and let's say we know that that sales order was entered on the 20th of August. Okay, so I can come up to the header section here in the grid, and here I can just type in 8, 20, 14, then just do an enter. And when I do that, that's going to serve to pull up all records. Now, in this case, I had my operator set to greater than August 20th. I can come here, click on that operator, and change that to an equal to. And that will serve to, limit me just to those orders that were entered on August 20th. Okay. Now, one thing about this quick select, if you want to bring back all your records to the left list, you can come over and click on this refresh button, this kind of green circle on the right hand side, and that will return you back all your records. Another thing maybe to make note of on the quick select is when you run it, let me go ahead and rerun this one again, you can kind of run multiple quick selects against your data set. So maybe I want to find orders entered on the 20th of August, then in addition to that, orders entered in by customer PT002. I can enter in that to further limit my search. Maybe another important thing to recognize is the quick select over here is not case sensitive, so that lowercase p, lowercase t also returned that record. Okay. So let's go ahead and return back all the records. And the next thing I want to show you is what we call an advanced selection. So your advanced selections, if you come over here in your right list and scroll down, you have a selection block in here. Now this function's already comes set up with a couple different advanced selections, orders that were shipped, orders that have been partially shipped, orders that haven't been shipped yet. Okay, let's go ahead and run that for your not shipped order. So I can come over here and simply click on that. And when I click on that, that's going to return to me over here all my sales orders that, if I come over here and take a look at my status, have not been delivered yet. Okay, so you can see how that could come in handy. If I want to come and bring back all my records in the left list, I just come down and click on this all option, and that will return them all back for me. Okay. Now these advanced selections, they're once you kind of gain a little understanding of the system, they're pretty easy to set up. If I come up to this option right here, advanced selection, that's going to pull up a little wizard of sorts for me. Then in here, let's say in this example, maybe I want to take a look for all orders that are presently on credit hold. Okay, so in here, I'm going to come into my field section, click on my magnifier, And here in my text field, I'm going to do a quick select here, and let me do it for credit. Okay, so in here, we'll click on credit status. And we have that equal to, click on the magnifier here, and we can say on hold. Okay. Couple things to note about this kind of object selection wizard is, we can put our conditions in here. In your operator block here, you can see the different operators from which you can choose. So, depending upon what you want to return back. Then in here also, I could stack if I had need, multiple conditions in here too. We have an expression block down here which can be used to develop even more advanced selection criteria over and above the standard. You can come over here and take note of your memo parameter. Now the memo parameter is what that does for you. If I was to run it with that being checked, when I invoke this advanced selection at a later point in time, it's actually going to prompt me for the value when I run it. So it makes for a little bit more of flexibility in your advanced selections. But let me go ahead and illustrate it just like this. So that's my memorized selection. I come in here and I click on OK. And then over here in my left list, this should return back to me all my orders here that have, our credit problem. Okay. Now, with this advanced selection, one popular thing to do is to set up a memo or a memorized selection. So to do that, if I come back in here, come to my advanced selection, and I'm going to do a memo. And when I click on the memo here, I'm just going to give it a memo code that I can reference when I want to run this again. Okay, so I'll call this, credit orders with credit problem, let's say. Okay. Now, one other parameter to note in here is we have this global box. Now, if I set up a memorized selection with that global box being checked, that means that not only myself, but any system user will be able to invoke this memorized selection at a later point. So I'll go ahead and I'll set it up under that basis. Click on OK. It tells me it's saved the parameter. Go ahead and click OK here. That runs my selection. Now, what makes it special is down in this block here of selection options. And unfortunately, you can't see it until you end out of the function and come back in, and that kind of does a screen refresh of the options. So I'm going to come directly back into my sales order entry, do my full entry. Okay, so now by virtue of setting up the memorized selection, if I come under this block now I can see my selection here, orders with credit problem. So now I don't have to go through the exercise of redefining those conditions each time, but rather I can just click on this link and that'll go ahead and run my selection for me. So, most clients can get a lot of mileage out of this function here. Looking up late purchase orders, looking up customers with credit problems, just a whole variety of different options you can use.